Buyers will walk. Yeah, buyers are going to walk. It's true. It's going to happen if you, well, let's get into this, right? Let's get into this real quick. Again, I'm in Vegas. I'm hanging out with my sister and my son. And anyway, look, the verdict is in. Condition is a huge deal to buyers, right? If your house looks like this or doesn't look like a model home, meaning not fresh paint, your floors are kind of gank, your kitchen's old, original, or what have you, or your roof is shot, or you have issues with the house altogether, your house is going to sit on market, especially if you have it priced incorrectly. Here, look, don't take my word for it, right? The verdict is in. Condition is a huge deal to buyers. Buyers today are not looking for a DIY project, especially at the prices they're paying. They want something that's turnkey, something they can walk into, and it's luxurious, it's nice, it's updated. If you come in and tell the agent, oh, I'll just sell it as is, I'll give them a credit, you're wasting everybody's time. Price and condition for the local market. You have to understand the comps. And then you also have to understand that they're not just looking at your 1 mile radius. They're looking at the entire city. They could be looking at 4 or 5 zip codes. They could be looking at a number of things. Your house is not the only house on the block. So don't think that your house is the Midas touch, right? Because houses have gotten so expensive right now, buyers are taking a break. They're saying, I'm going to sit and wait and see what comes to me that's a good deal. And yes, there's still good deals to be had. I'm going to show you in at the end here on our highs and lows. Buyers won't write, let alone set up a showing if any of those things are off, right? Condition, location, price, they know. They are more educated than you are on the house that they're looking for. In their head, they want the house that is in prime condition, that is ready to walk in. If anything is off, a smell. Just the way things are built. Maybe just the walk of the way the house is set up. If it's too cordoned off, anything like that, your house is not going to sell, right? There's a ton of selection out there. There's tons of inventory for them to choose from. And don't say that the market's down. The houses are still selling as long as the price is right for the condition of that house in that area, right? And buyers right now, not everyone, but on our side of 87, people are struggling to get into a house. So you have to have the mindset of, my house is worth what the buyer's willing to pay. I have to lower the price, the offer price, to attract that market. If you're at 10% over what the condition is, you're going to sit on the market and wonder why your houses aren't getting offers. I just took a house off a market because the seller refused to lower the price based on condition. 3 weeks into this, I suggested that we lower the price, and they came back and said, the comp suggests it's the right price. Well, not for the condition, because the house was in not great shape. You can't live in a house for 20 years and not do anything to it, period. Right? My house, I put money into the house every year, whether it's $10,000 or $75,000 for a new kitchen. I've updated my house. I've painted it. I've kept it up. I've manicured the lawn. I've kept the curb appeal up. I painted it. It looks beautiful. It looks like a showroom. It looks like it's a 1968 house, but I've updated it with the fireplace and the bathrooms and everything. So it's nothing except for the linen closet is original in that house, right? 11th hour repairs. Yes, they can absolutely do that, because they have the power. 11th hour repairs, meaning they come in right before docs are signed saying, oh, you know what? We want you to do this. We want new appliances. We want new flooring. We want this, or a credit for it, right? So you have to have the negotiation head on. And if you come back and for any reason they can pull out a contract, If you come back and say no to anything, they'll pull out a contract. Let's say they come back and say, I want you to fix that pool to make it serviceable. And that's going to cost you $30,000. And you say, I'm not going to pay that. Are you crazy? We already agreed to the condition. They're going to pull the plug. And they can. And cancellations are up this year. Not so much here in the Bay Area, not so much in Silicon Valley, but it is happening. Buyers are picky about getting into contract and staying in contract. Understand that this is a huge problem right now. The summer is a major slowdown. The rates are a major slowdown. The economy and jobs reports are a major issue. There's a lot of fear and loathing. There's people with money and they will buy your house, but for their terms, not your terms, right? Real estate community is excited about lower rates and the buyers are kind of not. It's true. It's not the worst year ever. I mean, look at 2007, look at 2023. We will get through this. And when rates come down 0.5%, meaning you can buy a house and get around 5.5 to 6%, buyers are going to come out in droves. And then you'll be stuck because you'll be competing against buyers for that same house. That's a piece of crap. So there you go. At Sacramento, we're not really interested in that. Okay, how to avoid top 3 emotional mistakes most sellers make. And there's a bonus one, not being able to let go of personal items. When you sell your house, you got to get rid of all your tchotchkes, get rid of the pictures. You can have a couple pictures up, but get rid of most of the pictures that are out there with your family on it. Nobody really cares. Put some decor on it and no more, and get rid of all your little personal items, right? Not removing your personal footprint. Exactly. Like if you have your kids' first shoes on a shelf, guilty. Get rid of it, right? Get rid of anything that makes it your house. You got to set it up like a new home community, right? Not understanding what the buyer's values. Understand that a buyer is buying a house. They're not buying your stuff. When you come in and tell me, hey, I have this big, huge TV stand, do you think the buyers are going to want it? I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to say, you got to get rid of it. It's huge. It's homunculus. It's out of range. Nobody's going to want that, but it's fine. Italian mahogany and this and that. I don't care. Buyers don't care. Buyers don't want that. They don't want a thing that they're going to have to remove or get rid of or have to donate or they don't want that. So get rid of stuff. Make it a plain vanilla house, stage it up, paint it gray, grayish, beige, it doesn't matter, fresh coat of paint, and make it look and smell right? And anything that you're going to move, understand that it's going to have a cost behind it. Every pound that you move is going to cost you hundreds of dollars. And if you don't want it or you don't need it, get rid of it. Pack it up, sell it, donate it, or dump it. Get rid of it. Massive reduction. And if your garage looks like you're not ready to move yet, meaning you have stuff everywhere and bolts and nuts in drawers, you're not ready to sell. You need to do everything. Get rid of all the stuff in your house that you're not going to take with you and make your house look like you're packed up and ready to go. Boxes in the garage are great, except for when it comes time for the pest report, they want to look for termite droppings. So pull the boxes away from the walls so that the inspector can take a flashlight and look and make sure that there's no droppings. Period. And price. If you don't have it priced right, you're wasting everybody's time. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you think your house is worth $2 million and it's really worth 1.5, you're going to be sorely, sorely pissed off at your agent because it's not going to work, right? Unless you're in an area that you could be a market maker. Look, this one even sold for $350,000 less. This one's in Palo Alto. It's not my listing, right? It took 24 days to sell. They dropped the price. They attracted the price. They got multiple bids and they got it. See, it's all ego. The number one reason why homes don't sell is because the seller's ego. They think their house is worth 6.75. and it's on market. If it doesn't sell within the prescribed amount, like in Blossom Valley, it's 15 days, 18 days, your house is overpriced. Your agent goes through a process, a checklist of everything they do to market your house. And if you don't get an offer within that average time, your house is overpriced. There's nothing I can tell you about it, right? This is the high, by the way. And then this is the low. This Victorian piece of crap. This is downtown San Jose, sold for $700,000. It's the lowest sales price of the week. It took 1 day to sell. Listed at 8, they took a 7. Boom, done. No ego, no nothing. And it's right by San Jose State, which is, I think, right here. So it's walking distance. Nice, good, done. And it's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's probably in horrible condition. I mean, look at that thing. It doesn't have a front yard. The backyard is probably full of crap. You know it, right? And let's take a look at the highest sales price to list price ratio. This one's in Los Altos on Woodstock Lane. None of these are my listings. $4 million, took 20 days to sell for $5.1 million at 27% over list price. Yep. And then the lowest list price to sales price, again, has everything to do with market conditions. When your house isn't selling after 30 days or 15 days, your house is overpriced. Right? This one right here is the lowest list price to sales price ratio. I think it was 70%, 66% of original list price, which is 1.5. Took 82 days to sell, and a smart buyer came in and bought that land, 2.6 acres, and they bought this atrocious wang bang home thinking they can sell it for the land, but in reality, it's not worth what they thought it was worth. And sure, you can update it. You have a huge parking lot. Great. Who cares? This is all part of this massive thing before, and then they subdivided it, and now you get 2.5 acres, and now you can do something with it. You could probably put 5-6 houses on it if you tear it down. For $1 million, that's a great deal. That's it. And then here's the chart right here. Yep, nothing great. Price reductions are at 22.5% of all active homes, meaning the market's slowing down. It's going to speed up once we see rates come down. Is the FOMC going to reduce prices? The big guess is yes, but the guess is 0.25%, and we really need to make it 0.5% to make buyers come out in droves. That's that. All right. Thanks for watching. I'm Vito with Abitano. Thanks for, we'll see you out there.